Hello again. This is our final drawing of the drawing class. This is window. So I'm going to be working on my window from my studio, and because I can see it from my drawing wall. All right. So let's go. I keep changing my mind on this one. Changed it 3 times, but I think I've got it this time. So I'm just going to put it in. I'm going to draw it up really fast, and then I'm going to go back because I'm not the best straight liner, and then I'm going to go back and clean up my lines. I have this little box from my tripod that goes the length of the whole thing that way and almost this way, and that's going to help me out with my lines. So a straight edge, a machine tool straight edge is always good to use, unless you're someone who's really good at lines, straight lines. So this is the actual window sill itself. I think maybe, let's see, go in. Yeah, I think I'm going to just say that. This is going to be, so we're blowing this thing up. That's going to be the layer in of my windowsill. This is wood. Actually, if that's wood, this has to come down, because this is going to be also wood. So this is going to be dark wood up here. It's going to go right off. So this is dark wood. And then when we come in here, we have, this is now the beginning of the white plastic window that sits inside. The new window sits inside an old frame. So we're going to go there. And then we have, this is the beginning of perspective again. We've talked about it. It's getting the angle of this windowsill because we're going in at an angle. So the bottom, the side wall of this window is going to be wider because of where I'm standing, which is below it. And the top is going to be more narrow because, again, I'm below the window. If you're taller and your windows are short or whatever angle you're at, if this one gives you real trouble, you can also take a photo of the window and crop in and look at it too if all else fails. But some straight looking at it is very good because it's how we interpret the 3-dimensional world. That's what drawing is really about, interpretation of the 3D world. All right, so that is, you're probably going, well, it's really crooked. And it probably is. But I'm going to check it. We also have, because my windows are supposed to be double glazed things, supposed to help with the heat. We have this thing that's inside there like that, almost like the corrugated cardboard, and it's silver and black, and it stands out interestingly. So I'm going to indicate that that's going to have a different tonal variation. All right, so I went too low on this, so now I got to get in here because my window is open because I've got, because I have, not that I've got, but I have my window open for my air conditioner. So I'm going to go down, and then this comes across, and I don't really know how straight this is at all, so I'll check it fast afterwards with my straight edge. That's the thickness of the window. It's going to have some right here, actually right here and right here, almost going off, are the locks on that window, so we'll bring those in. This has got some thickness going on there, very little on this side, all going off. Okay, so that's pretty good. Now let's go back in and use my straight edge and straighten up all of these lines, all these windows, edges, all of them. This is the one I cut. This is the machine tool. This is the one that came from the factory, so it's going to be usually straighter. The machinery is usually pretty good. Okay. And then this window might get changed, but we'll see at the end. If it seems just too dark and too flat of a line, we might modify that towards the end of the drawing. Okay, I want to stay out of your way, but I also want to make sure My line is doing what I want it to do. Okay, good. So I'm just using this as my gauge and trying to figure out how wide those lines need to be, and I'm modifying it now. Good. The angle on this is, let's get the flats first, and then we'll worry. What did I do here? Oh yeah, this is wrong. So let me fix it. You'll see when I get there. This, if this goes straight up, this goes up like that. It doesn't go out that way. And again, this is very much like building a large box. You know, it's all the same things we did way back at the second drawing of the cube, and the simple solids, the cubes, and the boxes with the actual boxes. It's very much the same thing. Alright, so now we have to watch angles, because I think this angle is off. This angle needs to be a little sharper, so I'm going to take that one away and look at it again. I'm going to try to clean these up so you can see what I'm doing here. Yeah. Alright, so this angle's good, because this angle basically focuses about the same as that one, because it's a window inside of a window sill. And so let's do that. It's better. Just broke my piece of line. Alright, that's better. Now my angle here, because again, this one is the one I'm seeing. This is like the bottom of this, and I think I have to go more like that, and I think this has to get more narrow. Now that I look at it from my angle, I'm going to go there, and I'm going to make it a little more narrow. And I've got to stop breaking this, or I'm not going to have any left to finish this drawing. Okay. So I'm going to take this one out. There you go. And I like that better. It's a little more narrow. Now this one is, again, almost at this angle. So I'm going to change that. I'm happy with that. Yeah, I'm happy with that. And now this one is going to come right here. Okay. And you're going to see that I got to erase this so you can see what I'm doing. There we go. Alright, straighter. Yeah, I think that's good. Now this is where this has to get changed, because if that's going to here, this is going to here, this is all fine. Just like that. That's good, actually. Alright, now this window sill has to get cleaned up. That's really crooked. Alright, so let's try. Let me get in your way for a minute. There we go. I think that's good. Gotta watch the 66 or 99. 66. And see if it's relatively straight. Alright, now that I think it's better. Alright, good. I want to get a width on this before I go any further. Try to keep it roughly. I'm going to use the width of my chalk. The width of my chalk. The width of my chalk to define relatively straightness, though we do not need to use a ruler for any of our drawing. Unless, you know, you're someone who enjoys rulers. But basically it's just a straight edge is fine. Alright, so I need to figure out where this fits. This does not come right to the edge because this is a casing inside that casing. So I need to give it a little width here. Good, that's it. And so then this, if I am correct about this measurement, this has to change. So, and I've got my small straight edge from when we did our lamp. That's good. That fits in there. And you'll see here that this is the inside of the actual casement of the window, and it has a little trench where this slides up and down, and it's darker. Okay, so put that in, because we're going to draw that. Those little details are important. And so then let's make sure this angle is correct. I think we are good here. And so then let's line that up to that. And we've got a nice edge. Alright. And then inside here, we have, again, we have this kind of silvery, two-layered silvery stuff in there that's supposed to make the window much warmer. I don't know if it does. Sometimes I wonder. Okay, now these are our locks. So let's go in and try to just basically create their shape. They're short and they're semi-triangular. Kind of do that. They have a width. I'm seeing that side a little bit, not by much. And then they have a weird little top on them. They stay with it. This one almost comes off. So they do that, and they have an opening right there. And so they look kind of like that. And then this one's over here, because they're equally far apart. So I'd say I went too close. I would say this one comes in at this point here and goes right off, because they have to be at both ends of the window. So I'm going to put it here, and it locks the same way as this one. So I go this way. Alright. Now, that's just the window casement, and we're going to use quite a bit of white when we draw this up. Now I'm going to just try to throw in what's happening outside that window. When you are doing this, if you do this at night so that you don't have to see what's outside, you're going to get the reflections of what's happening in the room, possibly. If you go for it during the day, like I am, you're going to get some of the elements of what's going on. So take what you can and use what you can, and again, the best you can. And when you're actually going to be doing this, it's also going to be winter. So, you don't have to worry about trees as much as I'm dealing with trees right now. So this is the neighbor's house, what I see of it out the window. Simplified version of the neighbor's house. This is a roof of their porch. There are two windows that come basically above the eave, where the eave ends, not quite, and they're right about here. They end down here. Actually, they are right at the eave. I'm going to fix that, because they do something mine don't do. Theirs basically almost touch, they basically end at the top of the roof. Mine sit above the top of my porch roof. Theirs doesn't. So it sits right there. So the windows are right here. So that's a window, basically a little shorter than that. There's a window, and another window which comes right off. Okay. And they have a seam in the middle of the window and not at their bottom. So you won't see that on this one, because the seam would be way over here. Okay? And then you just want to indicate the thickness of their. This is going to have less detail because it's further away. And the house actually is aluminum or plastic sided. So it does have these kind of elements like this. And if I bring them in much like the pattern on the lamp, yes, from the last drawing, we can just shade in layers, which will allow us to create that layer. And then this whole thing is just textured, so we'll have to come up with a good texture there. So now I only have a small amount of stuff going on over here, and mostly it's trees. lots and lots of trees. So I'm going to suggest that there is some drawn elements here. It's kind of dark there. This is a tree, a lighter tree element there. There's some dark tree elements there. And there's some more trees coming in from the other neighbor's yard. But we're just going to do that for now. Okay? Now, when we step back, I'm happy with that. Not so sure I like this. It's better because all else fails. My drawings are hanging off this wall. I just keep, after I finish a drawing for this class, I hang it there. So if all else fails, I can make some fractured elements right there if I need to activate that corner. Okay? So far this is going to be our contour study. And I am going to jump in and just start to shade. And when my timekeeper tells me I'm close, I will stop, and then we'll get to then we'll go into the proper shading. But we'll jump in. I think what I'll do is I will shade inside the window and see if I want to push it all the way down and gray it out, so it's not as important as the window sill itself and the window that we're actually focusing on. So let's try that. Let's step in there and just jump right into all these grays, this landscape element that I'm trying to pull off really quickly. And try to not totally cover my window sill itself, but get in there and allow it to overlap just a little bit, again, so I don't have that haloing effect. Okay, so that's pretty dark because that's a black roof. And they actually have it trimmed with black paint. It's a dark gray roof trimmed with black paint. Alright. So that's good. That's good. That's good. Now this part will stand off-white. This is a lot of tree things going on, but there's a lot of darks right here, some lights, and a lot of darks here. Okay. So let's see if I can pull off some kind of basic shape of greenery really fast. I don't want it to be the focus, so I don't want it to stand out too much. I just want it to be kind of like blurry masses, I think would be my formal explanation. 10 minutes? Okay. I'm going to try using this. Let's see if I pulled it off. Almost. This is where we can use that white. That's better. This is the cleaning tool again. It's kind of interesting. Well, we've done it, so we got to keep going. And then we'll kind of figure out how to fix it after we don't like it. It's a white house, but we don't want it to be bright white. It's further away. When you're dealing with elements deeper in space, you want them grayer and less defined, because they have to. It's atmospheric perspective. As it goes away, your eyes become less focused, and you see less of the elements, and the atmosphere tends to diffuse it, and it tends to get grayer, especially in a drawing, a black and white charcoal drawing. So we want to bring this in just gently, and then hopefully once we do this, we'll cut and then come back for more charcoal drawing, more defining objects. I want to get this down just a little bit. Okay, the windows themselves are going to be somewhat darker inside there. Oh yeah, there we go. And then that would be darker there. I want to and this is a roof. Okay. Wow. I've made it look like a dark and stormy night. But, okay. Alright, so we're going to stop here. And then hopefully, when we get back, I can clean this up and make it look better.